Hello everybody, my name is Lizzie Rowlands and I am the course team leader for music at Longroad Sixth Form College. I just wanted to take this opportunity to welcome you all to the college. Hopefully we will be seeing you all in September ready to start the course, and I want to give you a little bit of an introduction to the department and to some things that you can be getting on with between now and then. So my name is Lizzie, as I already said, and I run the course at Longroad. But there are a couple of other people who work in the department that I want you to be aware of. The first of those is Chris. Chris is our technician who is in charge of the maintenance of all of the instruments and the resources in the department, and who also looks after all of the sound recording and live sound that goes on in the department as well. And the other person who you will encounter is Ralph. Ralph is our accompanist. So he works with both the music course and the musical theatre course, providing piano accompaniments, but also extra one-to-one and small group rehearsals for people who are studying either of those courses. So that's me, Lizzie, Chris the technician, and Ralph the accompanist. So you will all hopefully have looked at the summer work on the website. If you haven't looked at that yet, don't worry, because I am about to give you a little introduction to that. So the idea behind summer work is that we give you a little bit of a project to work on between now and you starting the course in September. And that work starts to give you an insight into the kind of work that you'll be doing on the course. And then we follow up on that work in September and use it as the foundation of some of the work that we do in the induction period. So it's an opportunity for you to work on all of the different skills that you'll be using once you start the course, and for me to get a little bit of a look at you as a musician and your skill set as you embark upon the course. So there are 3 tasks as part of the summer work for music, and I'm going to go through each of those in turn. Task 1 is a performance task. So what I want you to do is to prepare a 2 to 3 minute solo performance. And that is going to be a piece that you then go on to perform to the rest of the class during the induction period. So you need to really have it under your belts. You need to make sure that you know it well enough that you can perform it confidently come September. It could have an accompaniment part. So it might be that you've got an accompaniment part that you'd like me or you'd like Ralph to play for you while you give the performance, and that's fine. It might have a backing track, so it could be a piece that you perform along to a backing track, or it could be completely unaccompanied and it's just you performing that piece completely alone. It really doesn't matter. Any of those 3 options is absolutely fine with me, as long as it is a really strong performance, confident performance that shows you at your best. The other thing that I'd like you to think about when you are choosing the piece that you're going to perform is that I'd like you to choose a piece that shows me and the rest of the class a little bit of who you are as a musician. So pick something that reflects your own musical tastes. Pick something that reflects your experiences as a musician. If you really hate rock music, but you perform a piece of rock music because you happened to have a piece that you could play, that's not going to give me a great idea of who you are. So like I say, pick something that reflects your tastes and your preferences as a musician. I want this to be an opportunity for us to all get to know each other a little bit more. And the best way of doing that is for you to perform something that you are passionate about, something that you enjoy. So that's task 1, and that's a performance task. Then following up on that, we've got task 2, which is a little bit more performance, but this time without quite so much personal choice. So I have listed for you there 4 pieces. What I would like you to do is pick one of those. I really don't mind which one. Again, there are 4 there and you have got completely free choice about which one of those 4 you pick. But I would like you to research the song that you pick. I'd like you to find out about the band or the artist, when it was released, how big a hit it was it part of an album, Has anybody covered it since it was released? All of that kind of information. Then I'd like you to learn to play or sing at least one part from the song. And by part, I mean either the melody or the chords or the rhythm. If you are a singer who also plays piano or guitar, then you could learn to sing the melody and play the chords. Similarly with the drums. So you could combine singing and drumming. If you want to learn just one part, that's fine. If you want to learn more than one part, that is also fine. But the aim is that when you get to college for induction, you have got one of those parts under your belt. You are able to perform one of those parts. And what we're going to do then, when we all meet up during induction, is we are going to combine those parts. So I will take, say, 3 people who have all worked on the Stevie Wonder song, one person who's learnt how to sing it, one person who's learnt how to play the chords, and one person who's learnt how to play the rhythm part. And then we will put those 3 people together and we'll end up with a complete performance of that song. So that's what we're aiming for. Learning to play one part from one of those songs. And then task 3 follows on from that. So task 3 is then to, or even before you've learnt to play it, analyse the song that you've chosen. And I've just asked a few key questions that I want you to have a think about and write down the answers to. So the first question is, what key is it in? What is the key of your chosen song? You can either work that out by ear, or you can again do some research on it and see what you can find out that way. Then I want you to think about the vocal range. Even if you are not a singer yourself, even if you're not learning the vocal part, I want you to work out what the vocal range is. And by that, I mean, what is the distance between the lowest note of the melody and the highest note of the melody? So it might be that the lowest note of the melody is a middle C, and the highest note of the melody is the C above that. So your vocal range would be 1 octave from middle C to the C above. So like I say, even if you're not the singer, I still want you to work out the range of the vocal part. Then I want you to work out the structure of the song. Now, when we're analysing pop music, the kinds of sections that we're going to encounter when we're analysing structure are things like introduction, verse, chorus, bridge, middle 8, pre-chorus, instrumental, play out. They're the kinds of words that I want to see in your answer to that question. What is the structure? Does it start with an introduction? Does it not? Do we have a verse, or do we start with the chorus? Is there a middle 8 at all, or is it just a verse-chorus structure? So list each of the sections and the order in which they occur. Then I want you to think about the chord progressions. Now again, you can work this out by ear, or you can do it by doing your own research. But what are the chord progressions? You could work out what the chord progression is in the verse and what the chord progression is in the chorus and write those out. It's going to look like just a series of chord names written out. That's the answer that I want for that question. So it might be something like C, F, G, C as your chord sequence for your chorus. And then finally, I want you to pick one phrase from the song and I want you to notate it using staff notation. And what I mean by staff notation is writing it on a stave. So treble clef or bass clef, crotchets, quavers, and pitches placed on the stave. Again, you can do that partly by ear and partly by doing some research. Just one phrase, so that might be the first line of the chorus, for example. It might be the last line of the verse. Just one phrase. It could be a guitar lead part, but it needs to be notated as accurately as you can in staff notation. So that's 5 things that I want you to analyse about your chosen song from those 4 that I gave you in the previous task. Okay, so just to sum all of that up, you can visit the Long Road website for more details, including the PDF of the summer work so that you can keep referring back to that. We're going to have a live webinar later in June. You'll be emailed about that, you'll be given more details about that, there'll be details on the website as well, but that will be an opportunity for you to ask me your questions directly. So I will be there in the webinar and you can join and ask questions and I can give you an answer face to face. But basically, we can't wait to meet you. We're really looking forward to getting to know all of you. Hopefully you're looking forward to getting to know each other and to getting to know us and to really getting stuck in to the music course at Long Road. So good luck with whatever you're doing between now and the webinar, and hopefully I will see you all then.